simultaneously running two demanding games and Google Maps in the foreground at the same time, and it's still working smooth. This thing is powerful. So I just purchased a flagship model universal Android head unit from Idoing. I'll be reviewing the capabilities and ease of install into my Mitsubishi Delica L400. There are so many brands to choose from when it comes to Android head units, and while many look very similar on the outside, they're not all the same when comparing hardware features, outputs, and software. I chose to buy a premium Android head unit from Idoing because of some features I felt set them apart from the competitors, which I'll explain throughout the video. It's also very important to me that they are a trusted brand in the space for many years so the product can continue to receive support after I buy it. Their customer support is one of the best I've personally experienced. As I purchased the universal unit from their eBay store, they reached out to me before shipping the product and went over every detail to ensure it would work for my situation. They wanted to know the vehicle I'd be installing it in, whether it had the original stereo wiring, and whether I had a plan for installing the display. I already had an aftermarket radio dash kit for my Delica, made to fit the 9-inch QLED display that's common across most brands of Android head units. After confirming the details with me, the Idoing eBay store was able to supply a directly compatible radio harness with my order, so I could just plug it in. I'm blown away by this. I was fully prepared to make my own harness. Most sellers with universal products will just expect you to find a way to make it work yourself. Having them reach out and cater to me was an unexpectedly refreshing experience for me. Quick rundown of the specs of the unit I purchased. This unit runs true Android 12, so there shouldn't be any apps that I can't install on the Play Store. It has an 8-core Qualcomm CPU, so it's very powerful, 128 gigabytes of built-in storage, and one of the features that led me to this specific unit was the HDMI output and the software features to fully utilize it. The optical output is also a nice touch for getting a lossless signal to an amplifier without any static or interference like a traditional copper wire. It has 3 USB ports, one of which can be used for screen mirroring with your phone. It supports wired or wireless Android Auto or CarPlay using the Z-Link app on the device. It has cellular connectivity and can take a SIM card, and also has many of the features we've come to expect from Android head units, such as Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, being able to plug in your factory antenna, aux audio in, aux video in, coax out. It supports DVR dash cameras, 360-degree parking cameras, really anything you'll need and more. This is my assembled Delica dash kit, which I bought separately as they did not have a kit for my vehicle. Idoing support team was very helpful in providing measurements to ensure it would work for their universal head unit. Here I have the unit set up on my test bench to install apps, test features, and record this video from the comfort of my desk before installing into my van. I have the HDMI cord hooked up to the monitor behind. We'll be showing some fun features with that in a bit. The reverse camera is wired in, and we have 3 USB ports here, one of which I have a solid-state hard drive connected to for some external media storage. A cold boot from no power takes just under 30 seconds for the device to be fully loaded. However, this would only happen if you disconnect the battery or haven't run the vehicle for multiple days. The picture and animation on boot up are configurable. As you can see, I have mine set to the Mitsubishi logo to go along with my Mitsubishi Delica van. In most situations, the device would be in an ultra-low power state, allowing it to resume where you left off the moment the vehicle is started. You can configure how long the device will remain in a sleep state before powering off completely. Waking up the display is instantaneous, and a warm boot turning the key in the vehicle is just under 3 seconds. There are 2 different buttons on the home screen for launching the app menu. Both are widgets you can move or configure as needed. To test the reverse camera, I just touched the reverse wire to a 12-volt power source. The guidance lines seen in the camera feed are configurable in the settings. The brightness and saturation on the reverse camera looks fine despite the recording looking as it does. My recorder doesn't auto-adjust correctly. With my external drive connected, I can go through any apps and they will recognize the files within. VLC player recognizes the music. It can play it. It can recognize videos, movies. My preferred file explorer, CX File Explorer, recognizes the drive, name and all the folders within. All of it is working as expected. I can have Google Maps open as a overlay on the home screen. Top right corner, we have a split screen button, lets you open a second app side by side. You can keep clicking it to go back to full screen or select another app. Despite having both of these apps open, both are still very responsive. We can even use the recent app menu to select our second app for the split screen mode. There's a little icon in the top right corner of the apps on that menu to add them into the split screen. I installed Steam Link as a fun test for this unit because I wanted to test the latency and responsiveness of the Wi-Fi. I don't plan to be streaming games from home on free parking lot Wi-Fi, but hey, it can do it. I have the controller hooked up by USB to one of the 3 USB ports. In testing the latency, it seems very snappy. Every joystick motion seems instantaneous with the game on the screen. It's streaming this game as well, so that's heavy data. A lot of data has to flow for a game stream. It's also to be able to react quickly. It's a good Wi-Fi. I think it would work really well for video calls or anything that needs fast reaction. Moving on to one of my favorite features, the ability to plug in a second screen and send any app to that screen. For example, I could open Netflix or the video app and send it to the back seat for my passengers to enjoy a movie while I drive. I can have Google Maps open on the main screen. I could even continue to use the split screen function on the main screen to have a podcast open with Google Maps. Now this is 3 apps open simultaneously in the foreground, all running at the same time, still very responsive, which is a testament to how powerful this device truly is, but we're just getting started. We can push this device much, much harder. I'll just be flipping through a few different apps here, sending videos to the screen, taking them off the screen, throwing the maps on, navigating, just to get a feel for how responsive it is while you're doing this. It's truly is still responsive. It's not lagging at any point while we're doing this. Wow, this thing is fast. The last thing you want when you're driving is for your device to be holding you back, for apps to be lagging, things to not be happening. You're trying to look at the screen as little as possible while you're driving. You don't need distractions. You're on the road. You need things to work when you click them, when you touch them. Things just need to work. Everything has to work quickly. Everything has to work properly. All right, this is where the fun begins. The real performance test and trial by fire. Since this is Android, we can install a number of games and emulators which are individually demanding, even for a tablet or a phone. This is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, a computer game, ported for Android by an open source community and running directly on this head unit. Sent to the second screen, I still have full control of the game with the controller. Imagine kids or your passengers in the back seat playing a video game on the TV behind your headrest, all while you have Google Maps open on the main screen and continue to navigate your day. Alright, it's still working smooth, so let's see if we can push this even further.
And this is to go even further beyond!
Simultaneously running 2 demanding games and Google Maps in the foreground at the same time, and it's still working smooth. This thing is powerful. Even while controlling both games simultaneously, the FPS counter in the top right of Need for Speed stays green, only dropping to the yellow for a split second. So far with everything we've thrown at it, I haven't been able to get a stutter out of this thing. However, this unit has a 720p QLED display. Idoing has a 2K version of this unit available, so I am very curious if the same test rendered at 2K resolution would run this smoothly. Since this is a universal head unit, we'll only spend a little bit of time on the installation portion of this video. The head unit included plastic trim removal tools which made this part painless. The dash kit I have replaces the center gauge cluster on the Delica L400. This is a good trade-off for me as the cluster only told me temperature, altitude, and voltage. The head unit gives me weather and GPS, direct improvements on the information provided by the old gauges. I'd be willing to bet I can find a way for it to display voltage too. Android is a very flexible ecosystem. I was planning to get a new stereo for a while, so I already have a harness there ready to be spliced. Imagine my surprise when they provided one already made. Direct plug and play. I need to detach the display cable briefly just to run it through the dash. While Idoing has zero-din all-in-one versions of this head unit, I opted for the 1-din unit with the zero-din display so I could keep the important bits in the dash away from direct sunlight. Since I am able to push the 1-din unit fairly far into the dash, I'm planning to make a faceplate to hide it. I plan to embed some of the outputs on the unit, such as the USBs and auxiliary, into the faceplate for a clean factory finish look. If you also have a Delica L400, I fully recommend this dash kit. It clipped in seamlessly and perfectly. It's very secure. I'm not sponsored, so I don't have any affiliate links to provide, but you can find both of these products on AliExpress or Idoing's products on eBay or their own website. I still have to set up the microphone, Wi-Fi antenna, GPS, and more, so I'm not going to secure the unit in place yet. However, this will conclude the video for today. You can expect follow-up videos to come soon. Thanks for watching.